Welcome to the last video in July. You know we've been celebrating Americana, and I have to finish with this one. In today's video, we're going to talk about primitive crafts. To me, that is so Americana, and I can't wait to show you all the things you can make. Hi, I'm Bonnie Overman. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope my channel will inspire you to lead a more productive, creative, and stylish life at any age, always on a budget. You know I'm going to be 73 in October. And I only say it because if I can do it, I know you can do it too at any age. And like I said, now's the time to go out and fulfill all those dreams you've had of doing things and creating things. It is time. And I hope I inspire you a little bit in some of those areas. I want to thank all my dear sweet subscribers, all my wonderful friends that watch my videos and take the time to comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. You don't want to miss the best part of the year coming up, fall, Halloween, and Christmas with a different theme every month. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. It does help my channel. All right, you guys. So what is primitive crafts? Well, they're usually not very embellished. They're usually a little grungy and old looking, something the pioneers would have probably made and carried around for a long time. So we're talking about rusty, grungy stuff. So I put together a bunch of items that I made primitive, and I did it with a couple different ways. Number one is cinnamon for rust. I'm going to show you how to use cinnamon for rust. And the second thing is distressing the items. I talk about that all the time, how I distress with the Tim Holtz distressing ink. A lot of you might not know how to do that. So I want to take time to kind of show you today how I distress and what tool I use to distress with. You don't need anything special, by the way, too. But anyway, it's just that old-fashioned American craft. So the things I'm going to show you today, some of those are things like the mason jars and the sunflowers and stars and crows. All of that is something you might want to use in September when you do your fall arrangements, because I love primitive crafts in fall, but I want to show you how to make them in this month, which is all about Americana. And I thought I'd finish off the month with this crafting extravaganza. All right, I can't wait to show you everything. I hope you love this so much. I hope you get so inspired. And you know, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye. Welcome to my last craft video for July. And you know, we celebrated Americana, and I just wanted to put in a video on doing primitive crafts, which is, you know, the American country look, I think. And I thought it was fitting too, because I think a lot of these crafts really go well for fall decor and gifts and bags and tags and all that good stuff. So I wanted to end our Americana month with this video. Now, we're talking about grungy, very primitive, simple crafts. We're talking about distressing, and I'm going to talk about all of that. But I want to start by talking about some everyday objects. Now, my husband pulled this out the other day. He goes, oh, this smells so good. These are these little cinnamon brooms that you get at, I think they were from Dollar Tree. And I just took some leftover fabric. I grunged it up a little bit with my distressing ink. I'll talk about that in a minute. This is by Tim Holtz. I basically just use ground espresso, although I have so many other colors. But anyway, just put some scrap fabric, some scrap lace, a button on there, and look how cute it is on your kitchen, on a shelf, on a tiered tray. It's just adorable. But I want to start over here with flowers, and I want to start with sunflowers. Now, I'm going to show you two types. One's going to be paper, and the other one is going to be in fabric scraps. But now you don't need to have a punch for this, but this is where I started. I started with my scalloped round punch. You can just use a plain round, the bottom of a glass, and just, you know, trace that out on a piece of cardboard, and you have your little round pattern that you can use. And I like these fall prints. I just think they're so cute. And I just got some more of this at Hobby Lobby, my favorite fall print. And like I say, so many of these grungy, rusty things just go so well for fall. So what I did is that's my center of my sunflower. And usually In sunflowers, the leaves are more plain. The center's got the little seeds in it. So that's why I love this print. Now, you can use a punch. I don't have a punch for leaves that are going to be this large. So what I did is I made a little pattern, and here's my little leaf pattern, and then I just draw out the leaves and of course glue them on the back. There you go, just glue them on the back. I put a little round circle like a button. It's not even a button really, and a piece of twine, and I just glued it on, and I aged it. And again, I aged it with distressed ink. And I'll get to that in just a second. But look how cute these are. Now these are smaller. These have smaller leaves, and I did put some cardboard on the back. It depends. You could even put a stick on this and put it in an arrangement. Make an arrangement out of these. They don't have to be flat, or put it on a tag, a bag, a card, whatever. But look how cute these are. Now I want to talk a minute about my distressed ink. I use this until there's nothing left. Now you can buy specialty things that you can dab on the distressed ink with, but I like it when it gets something like this, a little foam brush. These are the dabbers if you want to dab on when you're stenciling or making circles, but I like this. Now, I wanted just to show you. So here's a tag I cut out, and by the way, primitive tags, you could take brown craft paper, crumple it up, and then cut out your tags and make them just so grungy and worn looking. But anyway, so I cut 2 of these tags with my small pattern out of this beige scrap paper, you guys. I'm going to show you again coming in the next couple months how I store my scrap paper. It's real important because I pull that first. I don't pull big sheets of paper unless I'm doing a larger project. Anyway, what I do is I like to go around the edge. Number one, it colors the edge so it looks darker, and it just puts a little bit of aging over to the side. So I go like this and, you know, dip it in here. Now, if you have a brand new ink thing, make sure it's not too dark, because you're going to come out with real dark edges if you want that. You can also go in and just age the center of it a little bit. But look at the difference between these 2 pieces of paper using the distressed ink. And again, this ground espresso is my favorite color. It's a true brown. It's not like a orangey yellow color. I really, really like it. So that's one way we can make things look primitive looking. The other is by using cinnamon. Now, I don't have any more cinnamon left, but I do have this pumpkin pie spice, which you can use. I actually put this in my tea, a little bit of my tea, and it tastes so good. But go to Dollar Tree and get their cinnamon. Now let's talk about some of the other ones you can do, and I really love how this comes out. Now, this is just some heavy duty fabric that I had. Scraps from one of my tables I did actually. I took one of these rounds from a ribbon container that I used up, and I went ahead and I just hot glued it on. Then I took another piece of cardboard and this black and tan homespun check. Now I've used that in almost all of my crafts I'm going to show you today from Hobby Lobby. You can cut the edge and you can rip it so it creates a real rustic looking edge. But anyway, you can see here that I've kind of aged the edges with a little bit of cinnamon. You can use cinnamon on anything. Just make sure that you wipe it off thoroughly so it's not coming off everywhere. Underneath here, I cut a round of cardboard, and I put a little bit of batting. So there's just a little bit of batting, and then I glued the edge under and glued it to the sunflower. And look how primitive and grungy that looks. I love it. Now I made another one. I used some scraps of fabric. Again, you can see that's got some cinnamon on it, and there's some burlap in the middle for the seeds, and that does look like kind of sunflower with seeds. And you can see here that I glued it on a round ribbon roll. Now, you don't have to have a ribbon roll. Just take a piece of your Kleenex box and cut a circle. That's all you need to do, okay? So you can do paper sunflowers, or you can do fabric sunflowers with your scraps. I absolutely love it. And look how cute they'd be in an arrangement, bowl filler, on the front of a bag. So, so adorable. Now I have these crows. Now this is kind of Halloween-y, I think, in a way, but I kind of hand drew a pattern that looked like this, and then I decided to make it bigger. And look at this adorable little grungy crow that I made. Okay, now I did not finish the back, so I'm going to show you what it is. It's a piece of sturdy paper that I cut him out. I did age him. The sides of this was white, and of course doing the aging, that hides all of that. I just did a little dot of white paint for his eye, and then I put a little bit of that ruffled collar that I showed you how to make in my Trash to Treasure holiday video. And I took a popsicle stick, and I could have used a jingle block. I don't know why I didn't, but I buy these little squares from Dollar Tree, and then I have a little stand for him. So look how cute he would look on a tiered tray in a Halloween display. You can make them bigger, smaller. You can do whatever you want. They're so adorable. All right, let's move over to this now. These are what I call fabric kind of collages. I start with a little square of cardboard, and these were literally tiny pieces. I have a box I keep. One's all neutral, one's all girly stuff. Fabric. Now, if you look at this, you're going to see different kinds of black and white fabric, the same black and tan fabric, burlap, there's lace, there's tarp, there's all different things cut in little pieces. And I did use some of that distressing stuff on the fabric. So you can use that. You could use a little bit, put some hairspray on and put a little cinnamon on it, and then wipe, shake off all the stuff that's not left. And anyway, now this is not grungy to use jewels, but I couldn't help myself. Instead of just a plain black button on there, I had to put a jewel on there. So where are these gonna go? These can go on pillows. They can go as a brooch. They can go on a gift. They can go on a battery operated candle. They can go as napkin rings, all kinds of things. I'm going to be doing napkin rings and placemats next month. I can't wait to show you all of that. But anyway, I made 2 of those, so you'll see these upcoming. Now, these I got years ago at, I want to say, was it Hobby Lobby? I'm not sure where I got these. There was the tag I took off. They're just board, and this one, it was black. That's a black star, and this was a Christmas ornament. And I do stars on my trees and Christmas trees and things like that. Anyway, I did a little bit of Mod Podge, and I put on some cinnamon, and you can see that looks very primitive, grungy, the whole thing. Now here's when I decorated a little more. So the other side is black. I like to do things where they're reversible. I glued on another star. You can see that little paper star underneath. And by the way, the base on this is ground cinnamon. That again, I used a little Mod Podge and put that on. Then I just layered one of these fabric collages on top with a button and a twine bow there. And that is so cute in a display. You could do some fancy ones, some plain ones. They're so adorable. When we're talking about rust and grunge, and I'm going to show you next in September how I make my pies. They're just a piece of, look at that, cat food. Of course, I go through a ton of cat food. Anyway, cardboard background, and then I paint the base, and I put ruffled burlap on, and I come up with a pumpkin pie. But I want to show you, that's got different shades of brown and orange, but it's got also cinnamon on it. That's what gives you that rusty, crusty look. Put a little Mod Podge, put cinnamon, and then put matte Mod Podge on top. If you want it glossy, put glossy, but that way it keeps the cinnamon from coming out. Do you have any leftover jars? These were little relish or pickle jars. I did them with some lace, and again, this tan and black check fabric, and some grungy lace on here and twine. I did like a little fabric top, like you have some kind of canned goods in here or something, and I aged it with cinnamon. I just rubbed cinnamon into the fabric and the lace, and look how cute they are. That one has lace on it. This one does not. I left it clear. I could keep rubber bands in here, or paper clips, or cotton balls, or whatever I want. But here again, some lace, some of this cute homespun black and tan check and a little bit of twine. And look how cute. And you can use brown paint. See how I use brown paint to make it look kind of grungy and old? Okay, another thing related to primitive work is cinnamon sticks. Now, look at these. Look how cute they are. I made these. These are not real, and I did put some Christmas stuff in here, but let me show you what it is. I buy brown craft paper by the roll, and I use it to make tree branches. I use it to make a lot of times the pie toppers, faux cinnamon. I use it for 9 million things. Just wait till you see some of the stuff. But I want to show you in my 3-step process here. So I rip the piece. Can you see it's all ripped edges? If it was all cut straight, it wouldn't look right. You start with this. Now what I do is I roll this up and I glue it, glue it, glue it. There's tons of hot glue. Then I paint it burnt umber for the brown, and then I put on, while it's still wet, cinnamon. And look at that. That looks like a cinnamon stick. Okay, so that's how you make them. Start making a bunch now. You can use them for fall. You can use them for Christmas. For fall, you can put little dried apple slices on them, or little pumpkins, or some autumn leaves. How cute would that be? All right, I hope you're a fan like I am of the dirty, grungy, Americana primitive crafts. These are just a few. I could think of so many more, to Halloween things, Christmas things, but I wanted to give you a little rough start so you can start making some for fall. I hope you love this. I hope you got so inspired, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.